Good morning, and up in the cabinet today, got over my chest infection, or just about to get over my chest infection. It all got quite nasty. It's just acute asthma, the doctor said, so I'm going to take it easy. And so taking it easy means I can get up here a little bit. And in the time I've had to myself, I've painted up these 16 Florentine swordsmen. I'm now attempting to paint the flesh tones, which I always like doing. So it'll be a unit of 24. I like to say doing 16 in the first batch, just to make the second batch psychologically easier. I don't think you can see those, but they're in the red and white. And once again, I'm doing them red and white because their flags are red and white. Yes, so enjoying that. Now with the Renaissance project, I really am very enthused by it still. Just the variety of different units and clothing, and it's most enjoyable. But I've made the mistake the other day of when I paint, I'll have a documentary on, or I'll go through the videos from the community, and I've been revisiting the old ITV series, or Thames, I think it was then, The World at War. And to anybody who hasn't seen it, I think it was made in 1973. It's a series of quite a few episodes. I think it was at 24, something like 20 maybe. And it's all about World War II, and thoroughly recommended. Narrated by Laurence Olivier, and even now I think it stands up as one of the best series that you can get. The music still haunts me. I think the final note is an ominous final note in the opening credits, and I think you have to look at it and watch it to see what I mean. It reminds me of watching it with my father all those years ago. But yeah, so what I was doing, I had those on, I think they're about an hour each, and I watched the Stalingrad episode, and that got me thinking, and this is where the hobby takes you. And I hadn't realised I had this on the in the bookcase, so I started reading this, and it's got me thinking again. I don't want to start anything which will take me away from the Renaissance project, but I have some Russian 20mm armies. I've got a 20mm army, and that's based for rapid fire, organised and based for rapid fire. So what I'm going to do in a moment is I'm going to get everything out and see how I can replicate certain aspects of this battle. The trouble is, the main problem I have is I have a Russian army based roughly 41, 42. I've got a few T-34-85s obviously, which are too late for this battle. But the Germans I have, for some reason, I started collecting 20mm Germans and 20mm for Normandy, 1944. So why? I don't know why I did that, because and that's the trouble I will have, that all the vehicles German vehicles are in the Dunkelgelb, that yellow. And I think that the majority of the vehicles at German vehicles at Stalingrad are in the grey. So that's the main problem, and the Germans all have Panzerschrecks and Panzerfausts, which are obviously once again weren't at Stalingrad. So I can use it as, say, a generic. If I come up with, say, a generic street fight, city fight, I'll get everything out and have a look. And what I'll do now is I'll get everything out, film it all, and show you and give you an idea what I'm thinking about. But I refuse to paint anything out for the project, but I think I might be able to wangle it a little bit. But let's have a look. Okay, so what I've done here is I've laid out my terrain boards on a 6x6 and found all the buildings I've got, and not too bad, but I'd like it slightly bigger. The main problem, as you can probably see here, my hidden shot, is that the boards are green. So what I could do is just flip the boards over, paint them grey, mottled grey, and that should suffice. The buildings I have here, I think I've shown it to you before, they're just made out of balsa, MDF and a few bits and pieces. I made them a few years ago, primarily for a Stalingrad Eastern Front type scenario. It doesn't look too bad. I've included some Warlord Games ruins, which don't look too out of place on this board. And up there in the top right hand corner, you have a small village where I assume that the factory workers would live. It's a start. I think guys at the club will have more terrain regarding the buildings. I'm pretty sure they have. And this would be, yes, I don't think I've really need, if I can entice John to come round and we can play a game of rapid fire on this, I think it'll be just fine. I'll show you a close up of one of the buildings. There we go, that's an old derelict factory, and I've put in a strong point area here. But what we'll do now is I'll put all these away. And we'll look at the forces that I could possibly use. Oh yes, the railway here needs some work. I found this up in the loft many years ago from a very old train set I had as a boy. Obviously I need more and buffers and bits and pieces like that, and I think that makes the difference if I can get a couple of points maybe, or you know, those things that direct. I think that will add extra detail, but I think the main thing is to get a grey base amongst other things. Okay, so the Russians. I think I started this collection probably 25 years ago. All metal, apart from one figure, and all based and organised for rapid fire, the Red Book. Right, so to the right, we've got various recon elements: cutlass brain carriers, scout car, M3 half track. I think they're SHQ figures. A plastic staff car for a commissar type figure, and here's the plastic figure. I popped it into the top of that armoured car. At the back, infantry wise, we've got two snipers, battlefield miniatures. I don't think you can get those anymore, and that's with a matchbox piece of walling from their 176 scale vehicles. Come on, you. They're really nice figures, those battlefield miniatures. Sniper. There's a unit of assault engineers with various types of weaponry, pole charges, flamethrowers. Once again, battlefield miniatures. They had a Stalingrad range, sorry, in which the let's see if we can sort that out. They're heavily bandaged. You see the guy pointing's got a bandage at the back. Another one on his arm there at the back. Which gave him a lot of character. Motorbikes, obviously go with the recon element. Moving around a little bit. We've got more brigade assets. Machine gun battalion, which consists of 3 medium machine guns. What are they? That's a submachine gun battalion. Cavalry, which I think are the nice SHQ figures. Both dismounted and mounted. More brigade assets, extra ATRs. Down here, from, who were they? By Britannia Miniatures, I collected a partisan brigade, but I can always use these as factory militia, which is quite a good thought. And they come with medium machine gun, 45mm anti-tank gun. Full of character. I think I bolstered, I mean they're fairly ad hoc, so I gave them an extra ATR light mortar. Just move along a little bit. More brigade assets. This time we've got various anti-tank guns. I think this was one of the first 2nd battalion I painted, and these are primarily from FAA, and there's the date at the bottom there, 2000. So it's 3 companies of 8 figures. This one here is armed with SMGs, light mortar, medium machine gun, medium mortar and ATR. Let me move a bit closer. Various different anti-tank guns. Majority I think are 76s. There's this 3, is that? Heavy mortars. I think they're 120s. My old style of basing. Some mid-late war assault guns. SU-85s, SU-122 possibly, and the bigger 152s. It came with 2 in the kit, one very nicely detailed, one not as great as that one. Can't remember, it was by a long time ago. A couple of infantry guns, some dug-in turrets for early war scenarios. I think they might have been a BT7 or BT5 gun and turret. I just added on to a bit of card with a coin as a base. Couple of soft skins. More infantry. Couple of anti-aircraft guns. This one here now, this is the first time I painted metal 20mm. I got this from Salute, possibly at Kennington. Yeah, there you go. October 99. And they're by possibly SHQ, FAA. Lovely figures. Later on, I went up to, I can't remember, I got these battlefield miniatures again. And this is more of the Stalingrad Russians. Again, bandages. That's a transitional phase of basing that was. Between the rather garish green at the back, I went more subdued until I got where I am today. It's a learning process. Let's see if we got some. Some more bandages. Guy there. And I actually cut the bases from wood and sanded around the corners, full of enthusiasm. What else we got? Let's have a look. It came with a rather nice medium mortar crew. Down at the front there's another battalion, 03. I think that's is that SHQ possibly. Then moving around to the armour. Soft skin vehicles, which you always need. I think I got these from Frontline Wargaming, and they're just very basic resins, but they do a job very well. So it is apart from the couple of late assault guns I showed you before, and those T-34 85s, it's mid-war T-34s, early war BT-7s, a couple of T-28s, these are old metal ones that weigh a ton. SHQ again. Couple of SU-76Is, which is the 76mm anti-tank gun on a Panzer III chassis, if I remember. Got this big boy here. I don't think I've ever used him, and I've had him 20 years. And some rather unusual armour-fast T-34. I think it's got the 1943 turrets. Unusual being, I'm not too sure why I painted it that colour. And finishing off with a couple of normal KVs. So that's my Russian collection. I think that will all that's required for a planned city fight. I mean, say it doesn't have to be Stalingrad, it can be anywhere on the Russian front. What I'll do now, I'll show you the Germans, and we'll take you from there. Right, on to the Germans, and as I said before, this collection was amassed thinking about Normandy 44. Quite why I did that, I don't know. But obviously, if it can be transferred over to the Eastern Front. So the bulk of the infantry are by Plastic Soldier Company, and I found these very good figures to build up a nice looking force, and it's not overly expensive. The German battalions in rapid fire consists of 3 companies of infantry, 2 machine guns, medium mortar, Panzerschreck, heavy mortar, and a Pak 40. But again, it's all fairly ad hoc, I would imagine. Let's get a bit closer. Vehicles in the background are by Britannia in resin and metal, and then we've got the regimental assets of light flak, medium flak, a 150 infantry gun. Can't remember who made that. And another 150, this time slightly armoured. And who was that by? Again, it's so long ago since I made these. Moving down, we've got the Regimental Command, again vehicles by Britannia, and figures by Britannia. And they come with spotters and a few other bits and pieces. Moving round. Now the yellow, the Dunkelgelb was, sorry, until I discovered the Plastic Soldier Company sprays, I did it in a rather vivid yellow, which I'm not overly pleased with, but you live and learn along the way, I suppose. So we've got regimental assets consisting of Neville Werfers and various different types of anti-tank gun. Again, plastic by Plastic Soldier Company. Are the ones from the infantry battalions of the good old Airfix, which the crew aren't tip top, but do the job nicely. Right, sorry for the interruption. It's the postman ringing some rather nice bits and pieces. Right, so moving on. Now I can't remember where I got up to. About here. A couple of old Matchbox Wesps, I think they are. Yes, I've had those many years. Assault gun, I think, can't remember, armour fast possibly, only used in Russia. Selection of different Marders at the back, which I should have been more regimented and just bought the one type, but I couldn't help myself. Especially these. Oh, here we go again. One moment. The wife's just calling me up, seeing how things were. So, back to it. And, to the Neville Werfers. Oh yes, these small Marders. They are really nice kits. Oh, I'll just knock that one off this base, look. Oh, let's just put that down there and glue that back later. Another one, I think this is a... Was this the sort of one that was in Private Ryan, possibly? I think I made these for a group build, YouTube group build many years ago. Those. Rather unpleasant looking anti-tank gun. I think this was by SHQ. Vicious. As you can tell, it's all geared up for late war. Airfix 88s with a crew by SHQ maybe. Right, moving along. Various different Hanomag's SDKSZ 251s. Again, finished in a rather garish yellow. These are the kits by Plastic Soldier, and very nice too. They come with a variant pack where you can have the 37mm command. What else have you got? Well, I think this is a Britannia short barrel 75. Another short barrel 75, again by Plastic Soldier. Pioneer vehicle, again from their variant pack. Flamethrower. 81mm mortar, and over there I've got some couple of the old Matchbox kits. Right, so the vehicles, sorry, the armour is Plastic Soldier Company Stugs. Nice kits to build, they are. Foliage cut from a railway tree. I hope the light's okay. Some rather nice Panzer IVs from Plastic Soldier. And with the Scherzen armour, I always like to trim it off a little bit, cut down the panels just to give it that used look. Some panthers, 3 panthers. Can't remember who these are by, but I got the old paragraph set out and did all the Zimmermet, etched it all on. Only trouble is you try painting on the numbers afterwards, it's a bit of a nightmare. Yeah, that took a bit of time. So 3 of those. Some hideously painted Panzer IVs. Likewise, tigers and King Tiger. Was it Royal Tiger? King Tiger in the background. And this far corner, I realise I've painted up. I hadn't shown you these Russians, and these are more Russian command. A couple more anti-tank rifles, spotters, 3 anti-tank rifles. Just show you this set here. This is the Britannia set, command set. Oh. It's a nice set, that is. I enjoy painting that. Something a bit different. I think that came with a bully boy. They are full of character, Britannia figures. And what else have we got? I think that says stop in Russian. And that was a very old, set by SHQ. Okay, so that's it. So that's the Germans. So only 3 battalions of infantry. But enough of everything else to cause problems to somebody's day. I'll entice John. I shall demand that John comes and plays a game of Rapid Fire, because the second edition that we played, we haven't played the Reloaded variant yet, but the second edition Rapid Fire I was a huge fan of, and it caters for large games, especially city fights. Couple of house rules here and there, and yeah, be good to go. Well, thanks for watching this little vid. It's something I don't mind. No, hang on a moment. Let me just think about what I'm going to say. There's nothing wrong with adding a little bit to it, is there? Thanks for watching.